97XD Rock Station, talking with the Walking Dead's Michael Cudlitz. Michael, how are you, sir?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm great, man. Way to leave us last night with that episode of The Walking Dead.
Like that?
Ooh, we did like that. I know, man. And then watching that 2 minutes of what they call the prologue. What do they call it? What's the word they use? Prologue. I'm like looking up for like February. Like, ooh, you got us all worked up for that. You know, I got a question though. My first question for you is: how many people walk up to you and call you Abraham?
Many.
Yeah, I bet that happens all the time.
It's kind of hard to hide with the red hair and the mustache. There's no going incognito.
No, is that almost is that offensive or like to you that they don't actually know your name's Michael or do you take it as a compliment because you play the character?
It's a compliment. They're excited. They're huge fans of the show. They get excited, and typically it's out of context. So you're walking down the street and you bump into somebody who is on your favorite show. That's got to be a charge for them. And they see the character. They see the red hair and they see the mustache, and it's like, I'm Abraham. I'm fine with that.
That's cool.
Hell yeah. Do you scare the hell out of people? Because Abraham is a scary character, especially when he get pissed off.
Yeah, some people. I think that, if they don't really... I think I actually scare people who don't watch the show dressed like this.
Probably.
I've seen people across the street as I've been walking down. It's unfortunate, but it's part of the gig.
Does your ass still itch?
Only when there's loose ends.
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard. Hey, all right, so you've lent your voice to the Call of Duty series in the past. Great work. Do you have any more voice acting projects coming up?
I may be working with them, with Activision in the future, because I've done about 6 of the Call of Duties.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Mostly because you can kind of do it whenever. They work around your schedule, so it's a good.
Big plus.
It's a good gig. I used gig twice in this interview. I never used the word gig.
Oh, look at us!
Say that out loud.
Look at us. Hey, somebody submitted a question.
Here, going, who uses that word anymore? I'm not a jazz musician.
Us boring radio people use the word gig. Be honest with you, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Right. Michael. Okay. Somebody messaged me. They're out of Atlanta, and they asked this question, and I thought it was a great question. And I don't know if they're being a smartass or not, but I wanted to answer it for them. They said they don't watch The Walking Dead. They said, what makes The Walking Dead so special than any other type of zombie series or movie out there? And I know how to answer that, but I was curious how you would answer that question.
Well, I think it's the characters that Kirkman, created in his graphic novel. I think that it's very, very identifiable. I think, the whole zombie apocalypse thing, I think people can actually identify with, because even if a zombie apocalypse isn't going to happen, I think that everybody is aware that some sort of catastrophic thing could happen in society now. And I think that the cast of characters is so large that you can find somebody who you can identify with. And sort of say that would be me, or I would want to be like that person.
Oh.
So that's mine. What was your answer?
Mine would be it's really about survival, which is kind of the same thing. I mean, there's different characters you identify with, but it's about survival.
Oh yeah. Well, I think at the core of the show is not only about survival; it's about family. It's about what if you could rebuild. What would you rebuild? What things are important to you? If you had a clean slate and you could start all over again.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Hey, now, Michael, I just found out over the weekend that you were in another project with Norman Reedus. I can't believe I did not know about this, because the list of actors in this film is ridiculous. Paul Walker, Brendan Fraser, Vincent D'Onofrio, Elijah Wood. It's this movie called Pawn Shop Chronicles. Can you tell us a little bit about that film and your character in it?
That's probably the weirdest project I've ever been involved with. Wayne Kramer, I started, my relationship with Wayne Kramer started on Running Scared. He's the director, and that's where I met Paul Walker initially. And then I've done every one of Wayne's movies since. I've been in, I think, 3 or 4 movies with Wayne, and 2 with Paul, rest his soul. But it's I couldn't describe the movie to you. You have to watch it. There's absolutely no way I can encapsulate in a few words Pawn Shop Chronicles, except it's one of the strangest pieces of cinema I've ever been involved with.
That's kind of what I got from the trailer. I mean, the trailer is just like I didn't even know what I was looking at. But what is your character like in it?
I'm oh dear, you can't go there.
It's like that.
I can't. I'm aborting. I'm going next question.
Okay.
Pass.
I gotta be curious. Have you picked up the Walking Dead comic books and read about your character? And I don't even know what the comic books, how far it goes with your character. But have you cheated somewhat and seen? Or I know not everything's based completely on the series, but have you kind of took a peek at it?
Oh yeah, no. Oh no, I know exactly what happens to Abraham in the comics. His whole backstory in the comics is very, very important to what they do in the show with him, with his family, and his loss, and how he's adapting or not adapting to that loss. So, yeah, I've caught up with it. And because we do not follow the comics specifically, I would say we use them more as a geographical roadmap, meaning we are going to all of the places that they go to in the comics, and all the places in the comics exist in the TV series. Mm-hmm. But so far as what the characters do and the longevity of the characters, there's no correlation necessarily to the comic books themselves. So I know what happens in the comic books to Abraham. We're actually past what happens to Abraham in the comics, around this time. But one has nothing to do with the other.
Now, I don't know what happens in the comic books, but do you show up to the set and not know if it's your last day or not?
No, it's not that short. It's we find up a couple of scripts. We get the whole script. We don't get just the pages that we're shooting that day. We get the whole the whole script is given to us a week before we start shooting that episode. So we find out at least a couple of episodes before when we're going to pass on the show. So it's because it's a pretty close knit group, so it would be pretty shocking to find out any time less than a couple of weeks.
And I know you haven't experienced it, and I don't know when or if, but I imagine seeing other characters, other actors and actresses you've worked with, when they find out, does it kind of change the tone somewhat?
Yes and no. Like I've said this before. People come to The Walking Dead to die. So it's kind of built into the whole thing. You're sad because you had a good experience there, but I don't think it's a surprise for anyone. So I think you process. It's just like if the equivalent in radio, you come to the end of the contract. The contract's coming up. That this 4 other companies have bought your company and sold it and resold it and bought it again, and you're out of work. You will be working again soon. You just don't know where.
Apparently, you've worked in radio before.
No, it's the same thing. They just all eat each other, and you're sort of like, well, I know I'm not going to get a new contract because my company doesn't exist anymore.
That's true.
It's like you just move on.
That's great. Well, Michael, it was an honor talking to you. Big fans here of The Walking Dead, and we can't wait to see the second half of this season. How it's going to turn out, man. I don't know, but I'm excited. I mean, it's something we can be excited about.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Look, we're since the show started this year, we're 3 days into it. Only 3 days have passed.
Really?
In the show.
Oh, wow. Did not realize that. Well, we'll be watching.
And, we're starting a new season with the walls being breached and walkers all over the place. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Michael Cudlitz, we appreciate your time this morning. We're watching The Walking Dead. Can't wait till February to get it kicked off. And who's the new villain? Negan. Yeah, we hear he's a bad guy. Michael, thanks for your time.
And before we sign off, Band of Brothers rocks.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.